Okay, I think I got one or two more in me at the most for now. So that was a miserable way to bite the dust. Let's see if the merchant's got anything for us, huh? No, he doesn't. See, respected faction rewards unlocked then. Look at that musket. Look at that musket. It does fire damage though. That ain't great. We kind of want our guns to be doing physical. And then honored. It's a magic augment, huh? Wow. And then at revered, we can get the elite version of stuff. You know, how about we leave that quest for a minute and come back whenever we're less, maybe in a single level up, yeah. That might be good, a single level up. Now you might wonder, like, again, what the heck is a single level up gonna do, man? What do you mean? You'll see. You'll all see. Every one of you will see. Now that Pharos guy, I want to say he was down here, but let's see if we got anywhere on the map that we haven't cleared out that we can clear, that we can fill out on the way back. Now, there's something very grim. There's a secret, this game has secret areas for one thing, and optional areas. And there's one particular secret area that I can think of that I'm not sure. I want to say we can get to here, actually. I want to say we can get, it's nearby. I'm not sure. But it's nasty. Like, we really don't want to go there, but I'm gonna look for it. I'm gonna look for it in a minute. I think we're actually near it. Now, as you saw, whenever you die, you just lose XP, which stinks, but this game has unlimited enemy respawns. You just, like I said, have to leave and come back. So, like, you have to leave to the main menu and then come back. So, by the way, that means whenever I end these sessions, because I'm going to try not to play this character without, you know, being on screen. Basically, I'm not going to do any gameplay that isn't recorded, but what that means is that when, ooh, that's a nasty effect. What that means is that whenever we come back to these sessions, naturally, what we're going to come back to is a respawn map. So that's another reason to want to make as much progress in each session as possible. You know, like you kind of don't want to have to come back and fight through everything again, even if it's easier, even if the scaling doesn't go all the way up, and it doesn't. Like, different areas have different max levels. You still don't want to have to do that every single time. You know what I mean? It's not convenient. Now, the thing I'm looking for is not here. It's a boat. What I'm looking for is a boat. I could have swore it was really early on too, like comically early on. I'm just scanning the environment, that's why I'm a little quiet. We're looking for a boat. I know I've said that already, but bear with me. Now the thing is that this boat will take us to an island that is very, Well, first off, you can see on the map there that there's a hidden area over there. I'm not sure if we can reach that from here, though. I don't think we can. But yeah, there's the boat, if I can find it, and it might be further on into the map, but that boat will take us to a very high level area, like a comically high level area. Like what are we even doing here level area? That's interesting that we could shoot stuff over there from over here. Darn, I am gonna have to walk all the way around, ain't I? Alright. Well, whatever. It's worth it. Okay, come on. I like how it's called the old dump, because that implies that there's a new dump. I wonder where the new dump is. We're still getting decent XP from these, even though they're under half our level. Ooh, that was chunky. I liked that. Now here's the deal. I thought that... I'm not sure if that musket in the rewards thing did fire damage because it's a musket. I don't remember muskets all doing fire damage. That's pretty bleak if they do. Anyway, look, we're going to rift travel our way. That's another good thing about this game, is that you have unlimited, like, rifts wherever you want them. You don't have to have an item to use them or whatever. Ah, crud. Wow, I feel dim. I thought we had the rift for the area ahead of this, but I suppose we didn't. My bad, folks. Yeah. Well, I guess it ain't that long of a walk, right? I guess. Maybe. So here we are in scenic Whitemire. We were on the right-hand side. Let's go over here. I feel like the boat was on the northwestern side of the map. But I also feel like I might be looking for it way too early on into the map.
I can't do that yet.
Maybe not, but it's been a minute. Whenever I normally play through the game, I ignore that area because it's so high level, right? Follow me on this. That it's not worth going too early. But then by the time you get to the level where it's worth it, it's in such a low level area that it's like, well, why go back there for... Right? Like, you just continue kind of thing. I can't remember if there's any special drops or special items or anything like that. And I don't think there's a quest related to it since it's a secret area. Yeah, you see that special, like, effect on the bullet was it having that one guy's name, Zolhan's technique applied. Why did I get a pop-up for... Oh, that's why, okay. The auto-aiming can be a little funky on the controller sometimes.
I can't do that.
Like why it targeted that crate instead of the dog, like bounding towards me to take a bite out of my guy's ankles. Like, I'm not really sure why it did that. Now I'm one of the population who has focus blindness. So if I miss the boat, literally, it's because I just didn't see it. And like I'm just saying that's why. It's because I was focusing and I just didn't notice it. Alright, nice. A howdah. I don't know why those things are called howdahs, but that's a real fun thing to say. Let's get some better pants on. Wow, that is significantly less good armor. A required spirit 74, huh? We'll have that soon. 46 helm. Yes, please. That's the kind of armor that we need, you know? I like this track, by the way. I just like relaxed music in a game where you're blowing things up with a crossbow. It's almost like lounge music, you know, just kind of chill. It's relaxing, zen. Like, yeah, man, just chill out. Shoot some mosquitoes. Loot some boxes. Get new hats. Eliminate your local snakemen population. Crack open strangely glowing boxes. Dodge balls of presumably pressurized water. Just letting the music play for a bit, you know, give us some ambiance. That never gets old, by the way, that big chunky thud. I don't know about you, but it never gets old for me anyway. 37 armor, yes please. I think we're slowly getting to the point that yellow items, we might want to phase them out soon. And by that I mean like take them off of the loot filter where they don't show up. Now we more or less cleared that area, but we're closer to the side, so we might as well cross over on this end. This game's like that, by the way. It's a series of areas that kind of... It's almost like a gourd. You know, it's like a series of gourds where you have the thin opening on one end, and then it gets wide, and you have this large area that you can explore, and then it has the narrow connector to the next area kind of deal going on. If I ever make a game, I'm probably going to use that too. I've had the idea of like learning maybe Godot or whatever, and making a game. That's like an idea though. That's like whenever your buddy tells you, hey man, wouldn't it be cool if we like started a business? It's that kind of thing. Not saying that would ever happen, but just spitballing. I like that as a design. I really do. I don't know what it is, but it appeals to me that it kind of gives you the best of both worlds, in my opinion, of the free exploration within the game world, but without leaving you with such an open area and an open-ended world that you get lost. Oh, here we go. I think this is the first example of a rift gate that you have to fight enemies to earn the right to use it. Now, the thing here is that once you beat these guys, they don't respawn. This is one of the few instances of an enemy that does not respawn. So, like an enemy wave or series of enemies that don't respawn. Because, I mean, once you unlock it, you unlock that rift gate. Now, look at the top left. Secondary Mastery. We're going to back up a bit and hope that they don't chase us all the way over here. Now, let's look at our other classes. I didn't look at the Nightblade at all, so I want to show what he's about. A melee dual-wielding bonus. Also enables the ability to dual-wield melee weapons. dual blades, and then this entire tree is just dual blade stuff, obviously. Now, the Nightblade has a lot of active abilities. And obviously they're a melee class. They're very fun. Now this is really interesting. This slows down enemies in the area of the effect of the buff. But you can kind of see that this isn't going to work for our one, but man. I've made and played as a Nightblade cross-class character. They're really fun. Mainly though, if you're going Nightblade and you're doing... see, I love the single or minimal button classes. If you're doing that though, for Nightblade, you want to go with the passive dual-wielding tree, because this is stupendously powerful. This is no joke. I guess you could go into Nightblade with Soldier, but again, the deal here is, right? Because I think you could still use Cadence with dual wield. I mean, if you could use it with dual wield pistols, there's no reason why you couldn't use it with dual wield weapons. But the deal here is that Nightblade is kind of... There's no reason you couldn't. But for this specific kind of run, where I'm not going to allow myself to use even a single other activated skill, if I were to go Soldier Nightblade, right, I would go with the top row, and then I'd probably get, like, Phantasmal Blades is good. There's one that I know that I really liked a lot. Pneumatic Burst. I think Pneumatic Burst was it. Well, I mean, Pneumatic Burst is how you get your survivability, but there's something else. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna have you sit through a whole bunch of other stuff. Arcanist is where we're going, right? Now, the thing is, Arcanist has a flat damage absorption buff. It's... yeah. Arcanist just has a lot of tools at its disposal, which we're going to be using. Now that 10% physical damage converted to elemental damage is a little bit... Notice the bonus to all pets. You know, I don't want to say it's only for pets, because it's not, but we're not going to be doing that. Because that 10% physical damage converted to elemental damage, right? If we wanted that, we could go over here to Discord, and we could get up to 100% physical damage converted to elemental. Now, we definitely do not want that. We do not want that. We might turn some of our physical damage into elemental, but we're definitely not doing that. Not right now, anyway. We do want to do more elemental damage, though, with our buff. And we are doing elemental damage now, but the thing is that if you look at it, right, that's elemental damage plus 20, you know, plus 18% elemental damage, and then we're doing 12. we're doing it in addition to. We're not doing it like as a we're not converting anything. Like this is flat damage addition. If you get the idea. Now, elemental damage, if I remember right, is three-way split: fire, lightning, cold. I'm not sure how that works exactly. I'm not sure if 12 elemental damage means 12 lightning, 12 cold, 12 fire, or if it's some other weirder thing where it's like 4 lightning, 4 cold, 4 fire. But hopefully you get the gist, right? Is that elemental damage is strong because you're doing all 3. You're not really picking and choosing. Which is good if you want to do all 3 kinds of damage at once cheaply and not have to try to pick between them. Which is kind of what we want. We don't want to have to like, ah, crap. My ear. Sometimes that'll happen where I'll get that like sensation in my ear and I do this thing where I like press on the back of my ear to, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but I'm not sticking my finger in my ear if you're wondering. That'd be gross. But sometimes I do that and it just comes right back, I don't know why. But yeah, so we kind of don't want to have to choose between kinds of elemental damage. For our purposes, we just want to be doing non-physical, because there's things in the game that are very resistant to physical. Which is why we may take 1 point and convert 33% of our physical into elemental damage at some later point. Not anytime soon, though. Because you gotta remember that we're going to be getting buffs to physical damage. And I'm not sure how that works. Like, if you get the buff to physical damage and then the conversion is done after. I'm not sure if that's how it works. I'm not sure in what priority order the percentages are stacked. I'm sure they have it on the wiki. I just haven't looked at the wiki in a very long time. And certainly not before I started recording, so. Oof. Goodness. That chunky, like, pass through, hit multiple enemies and do good damage thing is just never gonna get old. Ah, here we go. Yes. Can we get... Good, I'm very glad that the two-handed ranged don't just do fire damage. That'd be really... Oh, that's a bolt-action rifle, like a musket. Required cunning, 129. Okay, well... 25 to 48, 25 to 48, plus 1.38 attacks per second versus 1.43. This is just Becker. Huh. Uh, 31 to 93 versus an additional 7 to 10, plus 9% attack speed. Yeah, I just kind of want this bolt action right here. Let's get our cunning up. There we go. Let's sell everything else that we have. Because I'm gonna level with you, we don't need it. Now the reasoning why I'm not selling these little guys, right, is because you can add them to your stuff. So it's nice to have a good stockpile of them. Like, they're little components that you add to stuff. Oh yeah, I'm really down for this. Let's give this thing up. It's gonna stink not having our Ring of Steel bonus, but you know, whatever. Buying armor is just a flat waste. There's no reason for us to do that. But having a real gun is pretty paramount. Oh, this guy's basically telling us that we need to bring him 3 Slith necklaces. We will have another Slith necklace soon, but what we have right now is a freaking real gun. Yeah. Check that damage out. Yeah, buddy. Now we're cooking with gas. This is the real reason I wanted to use two-handed ranged. I love that sound effect. Come on, can I get the big pass-through?
I can't do that yet.
The Zolhans? Ah, my ear's itchy. My ear is itchy. Itchy for the sound of more gunfire. More righteous musket fire. Or bolt-action rifle fire. This is the best, I love it. There ain't really nothing quite like the big chunky... Also, can we talk about how fast he's firing that for a bolt action? Holy crap. Like, wow, dude. I'm sputtering over here. How impressed I am. But yeah, we got the other Slith necklace. The real reason to do this quest is so that it stops dropping Slith necklaces. I'm pretty sure we won't see any more and accidentally pick them up now.
Can't do that yet.
Yeah, wow, getting that gun is just chunky. I love it. I love that chunky. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. It's the best. You know, now I almost don't feel like we're playing on veteran. Like, wow, this almost feels like normal. Like regular, normal mode. Okay, so the deal here is that there's more over there, and we'll be going over there at some point in the near future, but there's a guy that we need to find. It's less imperative that we find him now that we have our... And how much did that cost me anyway? That cost me a pretty penny, I think. It's less imperative now, but there's a good merchant, like a good merchant. That it's worth saving as a little side quest, not just for the XP, but because he has decent items. You know, he's a reliable vendor for items. So, we're gonna try finding him. I'm not sure if we find him here or in the next area. I want to say we find him beyond it, sorry. I want to say we find him in the next area, but... It's fine if we do. You know, again, we're just kind of clearing out things for XP as usual. And look at how fast that XP bar is filling up now that we can actually kill things in an expedient fashion. In an expedient fashion, I meant. Yeah, this is the thunder gun kind of thing I was talking about. But you ain't seen nothing yet.
That skill's not ready.
Once our guy actually like comes into his own with the added devotion tree stuff and everything, we're gonna see some stuff. Some real stuff. We're almost ready to go back and start looking for and clearing out subsequent, like... Ah, there's Julius. But we're almost to the point where we can start clearing out caves and stuff from earlier areas. Now, if you look, that guy's taking most of his damage from our, like... damage over time effect. Now we do kind of want to just keep wailing on him, obviously, but
Let's get
it's good to remember whenever you're playing a character that has DOTs to actually check to make sure if your DOTs are the thing doing the damage or your actual attacks are. Because if it's your DOTs, you need to focus less on constant upkeep of damage and more just, you know, proccing that and running away. And I say that because it can be kind of, you can, for me at least, I can kind of sometimes be playing a character on this where the DOT is doing the damage, and I somehow I get it in my head I need to constantly be attacking. It's like, no, you really don't. You can just get the DOT and back off for a bit to reposition, or just to buy some time for the potion to the potion cooldown to reset. You almost got him. Nice. Now that little orb is going to be some loot. Got some pauldrons. We have a belt that offers plus 15 health regenerated per second, but 23 fire resistance is nothing to laugh at. I mean, that's the difference between life and crispy. Crispy death. So it's worth it to keep that on us for now. I don't think there's any enemies that do. That's just a guy's femur. I don't think it's... Whoa! Why is my cunning at... What happened? That's an odd one. Why is my cunning suddenly lower? Okay. I'm not sure why that happened. Oh, maybe... Yes. Plus 4% cunning. You gotta be careful about that, because your armor can give you bonuses that you're not aware of, but hey, we're back, we're good. It wasn't an insurmountable problem. Thankfully. Goodness. Now the thing is, I forgot to check. I'll check after this, after my ear stops being itchy. But I'll check soon enough. Here in a minute.
That skill's not ready.
But we do need to take stock of what our attributes are going to be, because we need cunning for ranged weapons. As you can see, like I just had that demonstrated on accident. Right? So the soldier, we're going to be getting 5 physique, 4 cunning, and 2 spirit. Now 2 spirit is poor. I think the highest you get in anything from leveling what is it, a mastery, a class, whatever, I think the highest is 6, and I think there's only one. If I'm not mistaken, there's exactly one class that gets 6 in one thing, and that's it. So for functionally, the highest you get is 5. And the lowest you get is, I think, 2. So to put that in perspective, that's our minimum and our maximum. Like our ideal maximum and our ideal minimum. Like, I don't know how else to put it. Like, the functional maximum and minimum are 2 and 5. Which, if you're looking at it that way, it's kind of like you have the progression in 25% stages, right? Because if there's only 4 points, if it's a 4-point spread, 2 to 5, yeah, so 2, 3, 4, 5, that means there's 4 stages of growth. So with 2 being the worst stage of growth, that means that we have, from the soldier alone, great physique, good cunning, and terrible spirit growth. for our attributes. Now from the Arcanist, we're going to be getting the opposite. So we're going to be getting terrible physique, growth, poor cunning, and excellent, terrible physique, poor cunning, and excellent spirit growth. Now what matters is that we're getting, so the physique and the spirit will kind of balance each other out, right? Because we're still getting 2 in each, so that's 7 per level total. That means we're getting about decent-ish. So if we look at it, if we get 2 levels, 1 Arcanist and 1 Soldier, and we will get them in equal levels up to 40. So each level, per level, is... we can look at it as 7 Physique, 7 Cunning, and 7 Spirit, I think, yeah. So we're balanced. Is that good, though? Well, the answer is no. We need to focus on cunning and physique in equal measure, then, I would say. Because we're not going to be using spirit all that much at all. Like, if you look at buffs, that's 75 energy reserved, but we already have 497, right? And we're going to be getting good, you know, because if you think about it, right, that means that the maximum for 2 classes, right, 2 classes, 2 masteries, is per dual level. Per 2 points is 10, and the minimum per 2 points is 4. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a 7-point spread. So if you take 3 as the midpoint, that's 3 escalating stages of poor and 3 escalating stages of good. We are on that, so 3, the midpoint, would be 4, 5, 6, 7? 7. So like the midpoint is 7, so we're on average for that. Per 2 skill points. So looking at it that way, what we should try to do is put per 2 skill points for attribute points. So looking at it that way, we're perfectly middle of the road. So what we should try to do is go for physique and cunning in about equal measure, yeah, for our attribute points. I kind of want to lean more towards cunning because we will be getting a skill right here, veterancy, which cumulatively decreases the physique requirement for armor. So we need physique less. Technically speaking, we need physique less. So let's dump into cunning a couple more points now that we know all that. The other thing that I was going to point out is that look at, for Arcanist, the buffs. That's 100 energy reserved, right? That says just 6% damage absorption. That's kind of odd to just have a... Oh, plus 10 energy reserved for conversion for each. So we'll have to consider maybe having some of our... having a bit of a buff to spirit, but I guess it depends on if we really need it or not. Another thing here is that we're going to have Arcane Will, probably. I want to say we'll be getting that. I say that like, you get what I mean. I want to say that we'll be getting that instead of Menhir's Will. Because we just can't use Menhir's Will if we're going to be going, and we are going to be going, with ranged weapons. That requires a shield or a two-handed melee. We're going two-handed ranged. So Arcane Will, the main thing about Arcane Will is that it's another plus % damage, and then it gives us plus energy regenerated per second, which will actually be important on our main attack, because, you know, it says right there, whenever fighting form is used, it's +1 energy cost, right? And I'm not sure, but yeah, that's 2 energy cost. I'm not sure, so that's 3 energy per shot. I'm not sure if that ever goes up. I don't think it does. But anyway, we spent enough time talking stat shop. I'll go into what the attributes do a little bit more whenever it comes up again, and it will probably come up again. But for now, what you need to know is that given that quick and dirty analysis of how the attributes work in terms of progression or accumulation, whatever you want to use as the term, it's for the best that we focus on cunning. And the other reason why is because cunning, I can go more into this later, but it's related to damage. Increasing cunning increases your damage, and it increases your damage over time damage too, which is important. Okay. Now see, the thing is, I'm pretty sure Negan is on this side of the map, close by, near where Julius was. I just kind of want to knock that quest out because, again, I find it annoying to have it over there taking up so much space. And I tend to have it do that until I take care of it. Like I said, now we're almost like... You'd be forgiven for thinking that we're playing a normal... on normal difficulty, except for how much damage we're taking when we get hit. So speaking of the Arcanist, we want to get to Overload. Check this out. Look at that. Chance for one of the following: 45 to 72 burn, 60 frost burn, 18 to 105 electrocute. And then we get Aether resistance too, which is good. There's going to be a lot of stuff trying to kill us that does Aether damage. Which, you know, is the side benefit of going with Arcanist or with the Occultist, is getting resistance to, my ear. Good grief. That is such an awkward and awful... Ugh. Yeah. But that... As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, that is the benefit of going with Occultist or Arcanist, is that you get Chaos and Ethereal resistance, which is good. There's a lot of stuff that does Chaos damage, and there's a lot of stuff that does Ethereal damage. And honestly, like, look, I'm gonna be real with you. It's been a minute since I played the game all the way through to, like, the DLC, and all the way through the DLC, and all the way through to the end of the game and all that, but I'm gonna tell you now, from what I remember, Chaos and Ethereal damage are the scariest kinds of damage, because those are the ones that stuff like the end game bosses use and the end game areas use. I'm not saying it's a good idea to have bad elemental defenses. I'm just saying that having bad elemental defenses is not on the same category or in the same register as having bad Aether defense or bad Chaos defense. Like, you can kind of get away with having bad fire defense for some areas, and you can kind of get away with having bad, you know, whatever defense for some areas, but having poor Aether defense, Ethereal or poor Chaos defense is kind of bad. Speaking of Chaos, we're dealing with the Chthonic. I think the Bloodsworn Adjutants still count under the Chthonic enemy faction, but these guys are the Chthonic faction. but we haven't seen the real nasties of the Chthonic faction yet. We probably will very soon. These buttholes have a habit of summoning them. Can we read this in peace? No, we cannot. Ugh, my eyes got itchy. Itchy, itchy. Ah. Okay. So, let's read this. The time has come to strike at our ethereal nemesis in Whitemire. Even now, we gather our forces in the hills above Burrowitch for an assault on the village. Yeah, you can kind of tell that these guys are a little Saturday morning cartoon villainy. But, these guys aren't playing around. I make them out to be Saturday morning cartoon villainy, but I'm gonna be clear here. In the story, they're not playing around, and they're not people that you'd want to mess with, especially because of what they do to people they catch. Also because of what it is that they represent. Now, I'm not saying both the Chthonic faction and the Ethereals are monsters. One thing I actually really appreciate in this game is the plot, and how the plot doesn't pull any punches. There's some really messed up stuff in this game's plot, like really messed up stuff. And like, if I'm gonna be real, there between the Ethereals and the Chthonic factions, there is no good guy. I will say, however, that by a hair, the Chthonic faction is slightly less messed up, but they are still awful. This guy's just pointing out that there's a river outside the cabin, and that goes to the river delta, and yeah, follow the river outside the cabin to the river delta and search the shore. That's just a little side quest to get some loot. It's not even particularly good loot, it's just you get loot. The main thing to come down here for is that book for lore, and I guess a reason to go search the shore. I mean, I like it. You know, it's a little quest, you get some extra XP for it. I kind of wish that more games had more like tiny quests like that. It's not. I'm not going to be that guy and say it makes the world feel more alive. It doesn't. It never does. But it does at least give you a good excuse to go exploring, right? Now, that right there, Milton Hart. Okay. That right there is a quest marker. I don't know if I showed it off earlier, what a quest marker looks like, but there you go. My eye's still kind of itchy, I'm trying to ignore it. Oh, we gotta get in through the front door. Ugh. Oh, that was a meal, by the way, that I don't know why it didn't show up. I didn't think I had the loot filter for that, but that was like a meal thing that my guy got. Let's go ahead and shoot down that Aether crystal so that we don't have to deal with too many extra enemies. So here's that Milton Hart guy. He's not really that difficult, he just has a ton of health. I mean, he's way more difficult if you're a melee character for obvious reasons, but like everything in this game is more difficult for the most part as a melee guy.
That skill's not ready.
Again, he's talking about the sprint, like dodge thing. It's a little silly, that animation. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's a little silly looking. He just waddles right up to you. It's super speed. Yeah. I don't know why my eye is still so itchy. It's annoying though. Like I said, I'm trying to ignore it. Yeah. I'll cut the episode soon and probably go for one more. I guess I'll try to like get some water on my eye or something. It's my eyelid specifically. I don't know why my eyelid is so itchy. Ugh. Or my ear. Ugh. See, I'm holding straight up on the analog stick, and yet it was aiming over at the guy to my right for some strange reason. Okay, and we get Milton Hart's note. Leave this up on the screen for a sec and slowly scroll through it. If I can slowly scroll through it. It's kind of hard to do the slow scroll thing. There you go. Let's see what else we get in here. A menacing coif. Yeah, it's not really that menacing. It's a good sign that we've got the physique required to wear that. That's a pretty good upgrade just from the armor. Again, I'm not really caring about the bonuses. I'm caring about the armor at this stage. Bonuses are something you care more about like way later in the game. Like, we're not even close to caring about that stuff yet. We've got another, like, 30 levels before we need to start caring about that. Yeah, see, that was another one of those meals. I should have disabled the loot thing. An aggressive restored hat. This is my aggressive hat. I put my aggressive hat on.
Not ready.
I love the goofy names for stuff. This is my aggressive hat. This is the hat I put on when I'm feeling frisky.
I can't do that.
I'm feeling froggy. Ready to jump. Alright. Hopefully we can clear this area out and get over to the stash, I guess. Yeah. The quest calls it a stash. The cache. Oh, I should show that off, like, that does a ton of damage. Like, two-handed melee weapons do a ton of damage. Just saying. Okay, so look at this. You can see it up here. Yeah, Isaac's stash. We're almost over there. Sorta. Well, that's going into Foggy Bank. We gotta cross the way, I think. But how? Probably have to go around, into the next area and around. I'm reticent to do that because, you know, that's the next area, but it's alright. Yeah, that Vital Essence, by the way, is another, let's go ahead and let our Constitution. You see that? Like, that's another way that you refill it. Yeah, see, this is how we get here. Now I'm trying to keep an eye. This is like a. Well, let me deal with these guys first. I'm trying to look for that boat. I'm keeping an eye out for that boat. So here's the stash. You know, we just get a good chunk of XP and some stuff.
My inventory is full.
Oh no. Well, here, I'm willing to drop this and this. Take a look at those spalders. You know, we might as well take it.
I can't carry anymore.
You can't, huh? Yeah, that didn't really make it any better. Alright, let's get back to town. We've got some stuff to report back to town. Hopefully we'll get a level up out of it. Because, I mean, you gotta remember, we're getting plus 10% XP, and I think that, at a minimum, flatly also applies to the quests. See, the other reason why we need that merchant is because we can just come here to sell stuff instead of having to run all the way in here to sell stuff every single time. It's annoying. It's not fun. And we've got a ton of different belts. Don't really need any of them. Is that an amulet? Yeah. Plus 22 health regenerated per second ain't bad. It's definitely better than the amulet we're about to get. So we're gonna give her brother's thing to her brother's amulet, pendant, whatever, and then she's very happy and gives us an amulet. It's okay. Plus 40% constitution ain't bad. But, I mean... Because if you think about it, that's almost like plus 40% auto heal. I mean, that's literally it, but it's plus 40% of something kind of not that bad. But what matters is that we get all these little goofy things shoved in there. The little augmenters. We're never going to use that, so we might as well throw it out.
Don't see what's left of my wares.
I was silly for thinking we were going to get a level, though. Like, there's no way that we get a level out of that. Let me think. We could go back down into the sewer, but I don't want to do that yet. Even though we get a very big, very important upgrade, I don't want to go down there yet. The thing I want to do here is, I'm just leaving that axe. It's too big and too... It just takes up too much inventory space. So this is what these totems do. Now, this is probably going to be a mistake. Because this summons a ton of very difficult enemies. And in normal, that's not a big deal, but it's a massive deal here. Because we're playing in veteran. That's bad. That's very bad that guy just has lightning bolt. We're gonna get chased all over creation doing this. Now see, the problem is that these guys are still humanoid enemies. Now if I can, I'd like to just pull one. I'm not sure if I can do that. At least get rid of this fella. Ouch! That's not healthy. I don't like that he can just keep doing that. Stop that. Yeah.
That skill's not ready.
We're just gonna have to keep kiting them like that. Especially that jerk with the freaking acid toss. Oh, that is miserable. And that's the one that we're gonna have to deal with last if we want to deal with any of them. Good grief. I'm glad that somehow hit the back of that guy's big dumb head. Okay, we're getting there. We're making progress. Very slow, very miserable progress, but we're making it. Somehow. Okay, that's perfect. I'm glad we managed to separate this butthole from his friend. Now we just need to get ahead on health economy so that we have a free potion. That's what mainly matters here, is that we could take this butthole out. Sorry that I keep knocking the mic. There we go, just heal straight through his damage with the residual from our potion. And hopefully take him out. Come on. Alright, cool. Now we need to see if we can do that again. Yeah, I did not want to pull that many of them. As you see, it summoned another guy. It doesn't just summon one round of them. I'm not sure why I can't hit him from here, but I know that lightning is getting irritating. Yeah, pal, do you mind getting over to where I can hit you? Thanks. I can't believe I dodged that. I'm just trying to stack as much damage on that butthole as I can. I just need to get rid of that jerk throwing these stupid acid globs. Ugh.
That skill's not ready.
Okay. That's perfect. That is exactly what I wanted, was to get this jerk by himself. Because without his buddies, he's not really that big of a deal. I mean, you're probably noticing a pattern. Without their friends, none of these guys are really all that big of a deal. Mainly because we have a ranged weapon. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's the primary reason why. Ah, my ear. Good grief. Ah. I want to say that's not just like psychosomatic. I want to say that's not like hypochondria or whatever. Like, it's an actual thing. I just don't know what it is. I tell you, if it is like my hair doing that, if I could find like the hair that keeps doing it, I would just shave it, pluck it, whatever. I wouldn't even care if it made me look goofy. Ouch! Let's just run around for a while. Just take a big jog. That's lame that he can throw that and just hit. Okay, we might actually have a good potion economy if we could just get ahead of this turd. And then he should go for the... yeah, okay. I just wanted to get a couple of good ones in on him. Now he'll go for the bolty. There we go. Please just die. Please. Goodness. There. Holy crap. I know we're running a little long, but just bear with me here. I want to get this done with as the finale, if you will. None of these guys are going to be as bad as Mr. Acid Attack. This guy can't even properly hit us except with his overhead lightning strike. Okay, it spawned more dudes, but it looks like they're not much more other than, like, just regular goons. Powered up goons, I think, but, like, not super goons, not enemy hero units. Yeah, this is just like a powered up Deep Mire Shaman. Now, if you see here, it dropped a bunch of good loot. That's the real reason you do those. Is that you get a bunch of XP, yeah, but you also get a shot at decent loot. I think that's the helmet that we already had, though. That one. Blood Seal. That's a ring. Or takes level 14. It's a ring. This is the one that I wanted to. Plus 22 health regen per second. That's good, you know. We got some new pants. 92 armor. Yes. Excellent. Alright, well. That gives plus 3% experience gained, and while the idea of having like another plus experience, yeah, it's a medal, so I guess it'll just, I guess we'll keep that. Alright, so for now I'm going to cut the recording and we'll start again soon.